Welcome to the video on getting your resale rights product ready. When I say getting your resale rights product ready, what I mean by that is I presume that you already have a resale rights product in mind and you want to set it up so you can automate your sales and set that process up quickly. Because what happens is a lot of people purchase resale rights products and don't know what to do with it. So with the concepts that I will be teaching to you within this video, once we get to video 3 on customizing your sales page and thank you pages and connecting your download pages and your downloadable files and automating your sales, all of that will be easy once you understand the concepts in this video. That said, let's go ahead and get started. Number 1, make sure that your source is legitimate. What I mean by that is, who are you purchasing the resale rights product from? Are you purchasing it directly from the video or software or ebook creator, or are you purchasing it from somebody who purchased the rights? When I say that, that is very important. A lot of times you can tell by looking at the license. And if at any time you are unsure, it's always good to contact the vendor. Normally the license will have a link or some sort of information back to the vendor, so you can always check back with them. But it's always very important, just because along the way, some people may make their own rules. And then you run into complications later on, especially once that vendor contacts you and catches you in the act. So you want to make sure that your source is legitimate. B, download your files and make sure that you have your files, all the files that you need, all the licenses, and any type of sales page, download page that you can get a hold of. If you don't have your download page, then it's okay. I'm going to show you how to make your own download page within a few minutes just by looking at the sales page. With that said, let's go ahead and download our files. So I am going to access a membership site, and I'm going to go to the video download section here, and I'm going to start downloading the files. The one thing to note is, in the download area, you'll often notice this. Sometimes people will include the license separately. Sometimes they'll include all of the files jumbled into one area. Now, for the sake of this, I'm going to skip the thank you page here. I'm simply going to download the license, and you want to make sure that you download the license that you want to give to your customers, and download the license that you have as far as for legal documentation goes. So in this case, I just want to download the license that I want to give to my customers. If I don't have that, then it's okay. You can always contact the owner of that product and ask them to fill you on the details. So I'm going to go ahead and save the files. So I saved my license, and I want to download the professional sales letter and graphics. So I'm going to right click and save link as, and I'm using Firefox right now. If you're using Internet Explorer, same concept. Right click on it and save target as. Now I'm going to skip the thank you page because I'm going to assume that some resale rights products don't have the thank you or download pages. If that's the case, and you understand the concepts that I'm going to show you in the future videos, this is going to be a breeze. I'm going to go ahead and download the Flash videos. And I'll go zoom ahead and download all of these files. Alright, so I got some files that are still downloading, since it's fairly a big size file since we're dealing with videos. The main files that you need to be looking for are your licensing and your sales and graphics. So you got your sales letter and graphics and your license. Those two things are probably the most important things. The other files, which are categorized as your downloadable files, which is the actual product, those are important too, but those are actually easier to set up. So before you start now, I want to make sure that you understand that you want to ensure that all the files are working correctly. So by that, you want to make sure that all of these files can unzip themselves. So I'm going to select all of these files and use whatever unzipping program that I use and unzip them. If they unzip into their own folder, then great. You just want to make sure that you test it out to ensure that they are working. Because what happens is when you upload the files and you assume that they're working and your customers download them and they might not be working, then that can cause some complications down the road. But most of the time it's probably going to be working, but it's always good to check beforehand so that you save yourself some time in the long run. Since I'm using WinRAR, I have the ability to extract all of these files at one time into the separate folders. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Zoom ahead to find ourselves with 7 unzipped folders. Great, so that worked, and we can always test the flash later. But in this case, I want to set it up to make sure that we have everything in line before I actually start customizing the pages and all that. So if I go into my sales letter and graphics page here, I'm going to find the sales letter and the graphics. What I'm going to need for this purpose of uploading to the website are the HTML files. So if I go into the sales letter folder, I'm going to find 2 mini sites. Let's say that I like mini site 1, so I'm going to choose that one. I'll delete this one and go into mini site 1. Most of the time you'll find an HTML in a doc folder or a PDF. I don't want the doc since I'm not dealing with those types of files, but I do want the HTML files for that mini site. So I'm going to use that folder. And then I have the graphics. You really don't have to worry about the graphics unless you're going to customize them, and we're not going to worry about that in this video. So now I know what mini site sales letter I want to use. I can go back and customize it later, and I can also create a download page as well. So basically what I'm doing right now is setting myself up so that when I actually set up the download pages and the sales page, it'll be quick and easy. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to customize your sales page and your thank you and download pages. What I can go ahead and do is delete those folders. I just opened them mainly for testing purposes, because what I'll be doing is I'll upload these zip files anyways. Of course, the last thing you want to do in this video is read the license. And you want to ensure that what you're doing and what your goal is, whether it's to resell the product itself, resell the sales page, or whatever your purpose is, you want to set up your files to be in that light. In this video, I'm going to assume that I'll be reselling these product files here, but at the same time, I'll also be providing the sales letter and the graphics.